Hey there YouTube, Wrestling Optimus here, back with another unboxing video. Now in my last video, I opened up some figures for wrestlers new to my collection. Well today, I've got a bunch of wrestlers that I already have figures for, but either a newer or better version has been released. Therefore, it's time to upgrade for the new year, so let's get unboxing. Okay, so for this first one, I'm kind of cheating a little bit, because this is my current LJN for AEW. And as you'll notice, Cody Rhodes doesn't work for AEW anymore. So we need to upgrade this, and that's why I got Darby Allin. Now unfortunately with the LJN style figures, I do keep them in the box, so we're just gonna have to take a look at them from the outside. But considering Darby Allin is arguably my favorite wrestler in AEW, and he's the current TNT champion, that just automatically makes this a better figure than the Cody, therefore it's a 10 out of 10. But seriously, let's set the Cody aside for a second, and bring this a little bit closer to the camera. This is number 33, and it's part of Series 5. It does come with that poster that I'll probably never get to see because I don't open it, but that's what it would look like if I did. And of course our obligatory reminder to watch AEW Dynamite. And then we get this cool little bio about Darby. He is from Seattle, which is where Dynamite was the other night. And amongst other things, his finisher is the coffin drop. Looks like you can cut that out and collect those. But yeah, I love these LJNs. I just like to keep them in the box because I don't really have much of a use for them other than just a really cool display piece. And to reiterate what I said earlier, 10 out of 10 because I love Darby Allin. Might as well continue with the AEW figures, and what better way than to open up another Darby Allin. That's right, we got the Target exclusive Darby Allin Unrivaled number 91. And this is actually going to be my third Darby Allin figure. My current one is this one, which has the Face of TNT skateboard and also has a TNT championship. He also has full body paint instead of just the face, which I think my first one only had, but the face sculpt does leave a little bit to be desired. I don't know if the camera is going to show it too well there, but this has been a really awesome figure. The tattoo work is incredible, and it even goes right down to his nail polish. But Darby is one of my favorites, and this new one came out, so I decided let's upgrade. Before we open it up, let's spin this around real quick. On the back, it's just a really awesome picture of Darby Allin. It doesn't tell us where this is from, but that's okay. Flipping it back around, I will tell you right now, this skateboard appears to be half CM Punk, so I'm probably not going to use that. And I'll probably continue using the Face of TNT skateboard, but with this new figure. Anyway, let's let it breathe. Real quick, we did get an extra set of fists, so there you go. I honestly don't notice much of a difference between the two belts, but if anybody out there can see a difference, you let me know. And then what's really interesting about the skateboards is they are completely identical, right down to the chips at the tops and bottom. Obviously, this one has cool pink wheels, but it has no design on the top there, whereas it does have a design on the back, but it's CM Punk and a skull for some reason, whereas this one says Darby Allin Relentless. So yeah, definitely keeping the old skateboard, but this will be cool to just hang on to. And then finally we get to the figure, and wow, I'm not gonna lie, I am very disappointed. Look at the detail on the old figure and the complete lack of detail, especially on the body paint here, for this new figure. The head sculpt is definitely better in my opinion, and I kinda like the hair a little bit better. The chain looks about the same. Very similar on the tattoo, except this looks incredibly faded and absolutely does not match the really bold color here on the torso. And then if I bring these up a little bit here, you can see that there's no detail whatsoever on the new figure's pants, whereas there's tons of details, including paint and rivets and stuff on the old figure. Now, one cool detail on the new figure is that it has his phrase there, "Nothing's over till you're underground," and that's right across his chest, which is pretty cool, but again, it goes into some pretty bad paintwork otherwise. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna pop the head off the new one, stick it on my old one, and just use that for now. Let's see how that looks. 1 second. One other quick detail I noticed while replacing the heads is look at the difference in detailing on the shoe. You got the heart as well as that strip of yellow around the sole, whereas this has absolutely nothing on it. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. Even though the paint is a little bit darker here, it does blend in with that old figure pretty well. I love how easily the parts come off these AEW figures. It makes it super easy to customize. And this is what I think I'm going to go with moving forward. The new head, and I even did the new chain even though I didn't notice a difference in them, on the old body as well as the old skateboard face of TNT. So now we have to give this new figure a rating. Not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed, especially for a Target exclusive. I was expecting a much better paint job. The fact that I'm going to be using 90% of the old figure moving forward is a pretty bad indictment, so I'm going to say if you don't have a Darby Allin already, get this because it's pretty cool, but if you already have one, this probably isn't going to replace it too well. I'm going to give this Headless Wonder here a 5 out of 10 on the Target exclusive scale, but the good news is I still have a really awesome Darby Allin figure moving forward. Next is an upgrade that's a long time coming. It's Miro. And why do I need to upgrade so bad? Because I'm still using a Rusev figure, complete with long hair. But yeah, we're going from a WWE Basic to an AEW Unrivaled. In fact, this is number 85 as part of Series 10. If we turn it around, we see that series also comes with Wardlow, Jake Hager, Dr. Britt Baker, Taz, and Andrade El Idolo. And the picture on the box here is from Dynamite in May of 2021 from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm guessing that was at Daly's Place. It does look like we're getting yet another identical TNT title, but that's fine. And this figure also comes with an extra head, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's let it breathe. Look how proud Miro is. Right out of the box, this figure already looks amazing. But real quick, let's look at this secondary head sculpt. This is angry Miro, scowling at his opponents. As the Redeemer, he's going to vanquish his opponents before going home to his hot, flexible wife. But let's take a closer look at Miro here and compare it to the old Rusev figure. Obviously, there's a big difference in hair, from the hair on the top of his head to his facial hair to the chest hair, which is very prominent on the WWE figure over here, but we don't see any on the AEW figure. He also has these cool longer shorts, as opposed to the tighter shorts over here. And he now wears full wrestling boots complete with kick pads, as opposed to the old barefoot look he was going for. I guess he was trying to be like MMA style. I will say, for a basic, I was always impressed that they did a pretty good job with the tattoo work here. There we go, check out that Bulgaria tattoo, finally. And then if we come around to the back, we see that again, the WWE tattoo is actually pretty accurate. And then of course we'll spin them back around to the front here. So yeah, I would say definitely a substantial upgrade on the figure here, going from Rusev to Miro. Since he's not the champ anymore, I took away his title belt only to realize that he's got the TNT logo right there on his crotch. And because he hasn't been on TV in forever, I decided to give him the scowling face as well. So this is upset, you better put me back on TV, Tony Khan, Miro. And he's getting a 9.5 out of 10, even on an all-elite scale, because this is a great figure. My only criticism? They should have given him the Bulgarian-themed TNT title belt. Moving on, our next AEW upgrade is MJF's former bodyguard, Wardlow. And this will be replacing my current Wardlow figure that looks like this. I forget which series he was part of, but it was one of the earlier ones, and not gonna lie, the face sculpts look pretty similar, so the biggest noticeable upgrade is gonna be the clothing. As for this new figure, it is number 81 as part of Series 10. It does look like we're gonna get a couple of extra hands as well as an extra head sculpt. This is from the same series that the Miro figure just came from, and the picture here is from Dynamite Blood and Guts on February 5th, 2021 in Jacksonville, Florida. You can even see the Daily's Place logo right there. If I recall correctly, that was the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle, and it was the first Blood and Guts match they were able to have post-COVID restrictions. Let's spin it back around to the front, and then let it breathe. Here he is. As always, we'll show you the extra set of hands. Looks like we got a set of fists, one wrapped and one not. And we'll show you this extra face sculpt. So this is just kind of neutral, stern-looking Wardlow, I guess. Maybe when he's signing a contract or something. And now let's do the direct comparison. Just bringing him a little bit closer to the camera. I do think the newer figures have a little bit more shine on them, whereas these older figures have just a slightly more matte finish. Is it just me, or do the eyes on the new figure's head sculpt appear to be looking off into the distance instead of straight forward? That's kind of weird. Again, maybe I'll take this old head and put it on the new body, because I do really like this new ring gear. It's definitely an upgrade in my opinion. We went from what appears to be lions' heads maybe, to what appears to be a gorilla head over here. And I just like this purple and white color scheme more than the kind of bare bones black. There also appears to be some sort of logo. I think it's the Pinnacle logo on the knee pads here. There we go, extreme close-up. Now you can see it is in fact the Pinnacle logo on both of his knee pads. So overall, not a drastic difference like going from Rusev to Miro, but I do think it is a nice upgrade in attire. I'm gonna dock it half a point for a lack of accessories, but otherwise it's gonna wind up with a 9.5 out of 10. Really good figure. Now let's keep it moving. Last but not least, we are gonna end the AEW section with a female wrestler. In this case, it's Dr. Britt Baker DMD. And we are upgrading to this amazing black and red attire from her old silver attire. And we're also upgrading to this awesome new Women's Championship belt from this dinky old little belt. Look at the size difference. And what's funny is that's probably to scale. That old belt was super tiny. The new belt is nice and big. I can already tell the face sculpts are completely different, so this is gonna be a really big upgrade. The new figure is number 83 and is still part of that Series 10 that we've been opening up this whole time. Same one that had Miro and Wardlow in it. But the dentist picture is from Double or Nothing in May of 2021, still down there in Jacksonville, Florida. And once again, let's spin this baby around and let her breathe. And here she is, looks absolutely incredible at a first glance. Didn't even realize until I opened the package, but we got these pointing hands, which I guess makes it easier to do a DMD. But yeah, there's really no comparing these two figures. Look at the difference in the head sculpts. Like, I can totally see what they were going for with this old one, but this new one looks identical to Britt Baker. I also love the new short jacket as opposed to that long doctor jacket. And coming down here to the boots and the stockings, I guess. Again, just the level of detail with that kind of red blood dripping down. It's just really, really cool to see. Get the obligatory shot of her butt since she has a shorter jacket now. The blood's on the sleeves as well, which is really cool. Definitely a contrast to the tooth logos of the old figure. And of course, look at the difference between the championship belts. This is just an absolute upgrade in all facets, all around. I guess I could nitpick and say, give me another accessory, but the belt counts. Incredible head sculpt, extra set of hands, awesome jacket. This figure is an easy 10 out of 10. Go get it if you can. Possibly the best female figure I have for AEW at least, but definitely the best figure of the day so far. Let's keep it rolling. Oh, real quick, I forgot to show off the ring gear inside here. It's still a really nice upgrade. We got that kind of blood dripping down, as opposed to the just kind of plain black outfit that she had before. Still definitely a 10 out of 10. Now we move over to WWE, and the first figure we're going to be opening up is from the Elite Collection. This is Karrion Kross. Now what's really interesting about this figure is it was the first time he was ever in a line, and he got the full treatment with an Elite figure and the True FX details in his face. But at the time this figure came out, I wasn't really feeling Karrion Kross, so I decided not to buy it. Instead, I waited for his basic figure to come out second for some reason, and got that cheap. But yeah, his head sculpt kinda looks like Adam Pearce, so this is definitely gonna be an upgrade, especially in the head sculpt department. Taking a look at this new figure, it is from Series 85. Spinning that around. That series also includes Bray Wyatt, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, The Undertaker, and Aleister Black. His career highlights at the time were being NXT champion. And yeah, basically we're going to be getting an Elite figure with the extra articulations, and it appears like a leather jacket maybe. So let's let it breathe. Here he is. As always, we'll start out with the extra hands. He comes with fists normally, but we have some mic holding hands as well. I decided to start him out in the leather jacket just to show off that this is probably the best leather jacket I've ever gotten on a figure. It's very simple, but the material is great, and it just molds right around his arms and torso really well. But enough with that, since it kind of looks like a bathrobe on camera, let's get that off and compare it to the old figure. And here's where you can see the drastic difference in detail between the new figure and the old figure. First of all, the tattoos on the old figure almost appear to be black and white, whereas the tattoos on the new figure have all kinds of vibrant colors. Coming around here to the back, again, you can see that there's still a heavy focus on getting tattoos correct, even on basic figures when it comes to WWE, but they just put so much more detail into these Elite figures versus the basics. And then there's the head sculpts. Again, I'm not gonna lie, the old figure kind of looks like Adam Pearce, whereas this new one looks exactly like Karrion Kross. Like, you really couldn't get more lifelike than that. In fact, I'd argue that's one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen in terms of just looking like the actual wrestler, which is really difficult when you have such a nondescript kind of goatee and bald head face like that. But anyway, on an Elite scale, considering that I got a nice new leather jacket with this figure, and it looks just like Karrion Kross, I'm gonna go with a 9.5 out of 10 again. Maybe a second awesome head sculpt where he's not gritting his teeth and looking more neutral would have pushed it into that 10 out of 10 category, but this is still an incredible figure. If you're a fan of Karrion Kross, go out and get this one. And then we can't upgrade Karrion Kross without upgrading Scarlett, his wife, as well. This is another Elite figure with the True FX lifelike details, but in this case, I believe the basic figure I already have came out first. Now, I was originally a little bit disappointed when I got this Scarlett, just because it's so basic. Look at this, from her head to her toes, it's just black. So I'm excited to get a Scarlett with a little bit more detail. Even though looking at it still in the box, I'm not a huge fan of that head sculpt. But yeah, this new Scarlett is part of Series 92. It does look like it's going to have a couple of accessories, which is nice. And this series included the burnt up Fiend Bray Wyatt, Adam Cole, baby, Rey Mysterio, Rick, and Charlotte Flair for some reason. And then of course, Scarlett here. Notice they call Karrion Kross a gladiator here in the description, so this was probably around the same time that he was getting called up to the main roster to lose to Jeff Hardy while NXT champion before getting put in a BDSM outfit. Anyway, best to probably forget about that stage in his career. Now it's time to let this figure for his valet Scarlett breathe. Here she is. We'll start by showing off the extra hands, which are kind of like mic holding hands, but I think that they are actually meant to hold this hourglass, which is really, really cool. Bring that a little bit closer to the camera. But yeah, this actually spins, so you can kind of flip it upside down. But unfortunately, there's not any actual sand in it, so you can't see the time ticking by. However, like I said, with those other hands, she can be holding that up. Let's compare it to the old figure and bring them a little bit closer to the camera. We see that both figures have these kind of cat claw hands, which is really cool. The old figure has a head sculpt that, as you can see, is much more simple, a lot less makeup and a much simpler hairstyle, whereas the new figure has a ton of makeup and a very intricate hairstyle, complete with this black crown. She also has these cool spikes on her shoulder here. And then, of course, the outfit only goes down to the bottom of her torso before going into some fishnet stockings, as opposed to the old figure, again, which is straight black from top to bottom. Both figures have really cool shoes. We have these kind of old school stilettos over here, and these new school platform heels over here. Get those nice and close to the camera so you can see the detail there. But yeah, she always has some pretty extreme footwear. Spinning them around, it's just kind of more of the same, lots of black on the back. And yeah, although I do think there's definitely something to be said for that old head sculpt, this new figure is definitely an upgrade, especially in all the detail departments. It also came with some cool accessories, but I'm gonna dock it a little bit in terms of likeness of the actual wrestler, and that's gonna end up giving it a 9 out of 10. Still a really great upgrade to your Scarlett if you already have one, and overall just a really great figure. And staying in the women's division, next up we have Bianca Belair. I'm really excited to open this one up because this is one of my favorite outfits that she's ever worn. It's this mostly blue ensemble with red boots and the word slay everywhere. And this figure also comes, I believe, with my first ever women's SmackDown title. Not to mention extra hands galore and even a set of glasses. This is going to be replacing another fantastic Bianca Belair figure. This one in a white outfit with pink accents and the Raw Women's Championship. Honestly, it might not end up being too big of an upgrade, I just happen to like this outfit a lot better. But this is part of Series 91, and the other figures in that series include Hulk Hogan, Rob Van Dam, Austin Theory, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and of course Bianca here. She is from Knoxville, Tennessee, home to the Tennessee Volunteers, and Mayor Glenn Jacobs, formerly known as Kane. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but a terrible politician, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyway, let's let this breathe and compare it. Here she is, the quickest, the strongest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, the EST of WWE. And we are gonna start, as always, by showing off some extra sets of hands. We have some open palms. We also have a pair of fists. And here we got those really sick glasses. There we go, check them out. Very nice. Well, yeah, here is the side-by-side comparison. They did a great job with the face sculpts of both figures, as well as that awesome long braid. Let's bring them a little bit closer to the camera. We're gonna drop those titles for a second so you can see all the glorious detail. One thing that's really cool is this looks more like the head sculpt from when she was in NXT, whereas this new figure looks more like her current self on the main roster, complete with giant hoop earrings. Hopefully the camera can stay in focus as we check out the outfits. Before, it looks like she had pictures of herself in addition to the lips, and now, like I said earlier, she has the word slay in addition to the lips. Moving down, she originally just had kind of black and silver boots, and now she's got these really cool red and silver ones. The detailing on the braid is awesome with both figures. And now if we spin them around to the back, you see that she has those lip tattoos along her back, but otherwise the figures do look relatively similar. So yeah, not a huge upgrade, but the little differences I think do make this a slightly better figure, so I'm glad to have it. It's got accessories, it's got a title belt, it looks just like the wrestler. That's right, we got another 10 out of 10 on our hands, everybody. There's actually been a bunch of great Bianca Belair figures, but this one takes the cake in my opinion. Might as well keep it going with my last woman of the day. It's Alexa Bliss. For those who watch the channel, you'll know that Alexa is probably my favorite female wrestler. I have a bunch of figures of her going all the way back to her NXT look. For the longest time, I was using this figure, which admittedly has a pretty bad face sculpt, until just a few weeks ago when I upgraded to this Firefly Funhouse version of Alexa that has an incredible face sculpt. However, I kinda wanted to keep the Firefly Funhouse gear on this Alexa, and Jen insisted that we get the Lily doll that comes with this figure. So here we are with 3 different Alexa Bliss figures. Now I'm probably going to end up putting this one away, using this for in-ring matches, and using this for backstage segments. Either way, I'll probably be using 2 Alexa Bliss figures moving forward. As for this one, it is part of Series 97. It does have those true FX facial details. And this series also includes Chainsaw Charlie, the hardcore legend Terry Funk's alternate persona when teaming with Mankind, Sheamus, complete with nose-guarding face mask, Omos, King Woods, Ronda Rousey, and this Alexa Bliss. She's only 5 feet tall, her finisher is the Twisted Bliss, and she's held all kinds of championships, including the Raw and SmackDown women's titles and the women's tag team titles. But enough talk, let's let it breathe. And here she is. She actually holds the Lily doll really well. Before we go any further, we have the Pain and Play hands. These are the flat versions. She has mic holding versions right now, which again allow her to easily hold the Lily doll. Let's bring that a little bit closer. The detail on it is fantastic. Now we're going to compare it to this really old figure I was using. Obviously, the faces are totally different. This one looks just like her. This one, not so much. I think we're done admiring Lily, so let's get her out of the way real quick. The detail is fantastic though. Looking at the gear here, I like the O-ring up by her neck on this one, as well as the word play all over, and the word pain it looks like, right down to those chains in the middle of her chest there. And we now have a Pain and Play boot instead of Alexa and Bliss. If we spin them around, we're still seeing Pain and Play all over the back of the outfit as well, and just generally more detailing. I also much prefer the hair on this new figure as well, and you can't go wrong with that awesome face paint. For another real quick comparison, here's the Firefly Funhouse Alexa. They have very similar, if not identical, face sculpts, obviously minus the makeup on this one. But yeah, both of these are awesome, and I'm definitely going to be using both in all my videos moving forward. And finally, it's time to upgrade the honorary Oos himself, Sami Zayn. Now even this figure is already out of date and has nothing to do with his current honorary Oos gimmick, but it's still an upgrade from his underdog of the underground persona that I'm still holding on to. So in addition to those true FX details in the face, we're also going to be getting those ugly green pants on this figure, as well as that awesome hat and additional facial hair compared to the old figure. This new one is part of Series 91, which is the same series that includes that Bianca Belair we just took a look at. And yeah, nothing else to do but let him breathe. And here he is. The first thing I noticed is I pretty much always hate hats because they never fit on the head without looking super bulky. But this one's actually not terrible, although the fabric that they used here is the kind I don't really like that much, and the quality of the jacket is pretty subpar. It's the same material that this t-shirt's made out of though, and let's bring these a little bit closer to the camera so you can see. Again, kinda like the Bianca Belair figures, the old one looks like old Sami Zayn, whereas the new one looks just like new Sami Zayn. We'll take that hat off so you can really see, and yeah, in my opinion, that looks just like his current self. Big bushy beard and all. Coming down the figures, the old one just kinda had the black pants with the checkerboards on the side, whereas these new ones are these bulky cargo green pants. He's pretty much kept the same boots, but yeah, not much else to them. Not really much on the back. I did forget to show it off, but this came with an extra set of mic holding hands, as well as this award, which I think was the one he gave himself when he didn't think he was getting recognized enough by WWE. It might have also had something to do with that documentary he was producing forever, but that never came out. If I bring it really close to the camera, you might be able to see that it's actually like a tin can, spray painted black with a little figure on top. So yeah, definitely reeks of something homemade. So overall, this is an upgrade from the old figure. It's a really nice upgrade with a couple of accessories, and it looks just like Sami. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. And the only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because it's not his current look. I'm still waiting for that official honorary Oos Sami Zayn figure. Hopefully it comes out soon. And quick plug for Raw 30 this Monday in Philadelphia, my backyard, where apparently the entire extended bloodline is gonna be there. So I'm hoping at the very least that includes Afa, Sika, Rikishi, and maybe one of the women. Either Naomi returning, Nia Jax returning, or Tamina Snuka. Unfortunately, there's no way they're getting The Rock, and most of the other members of the Samoan dynasty have passed on. But we'll see who they do get, and I'm sure Sami Zayn will fit in just fine. But that's going to be the last of my awesome, brand new, upgraded, or alternate figures. Alright, that'll do it for today. If you liked the video, make sure to do all that normal YouTube stuff. Smash the like button, share with any wrestling or action figure fans you may know, subscribe to the channel, and spread the word. You can also talk to me over on Twitter at WrestlingOptimus, or see all my best figure photography over on Instagram at WrestlingOptimus. If you haven't seen part 1 of my New Year's unboxing videos, you can check that out right here. But until next time, I've been Wrestling Optimus, and I'll catch you later.